Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys can all see me and hear me. This is K-Swope, my first live stream. So there's probably going to be some bugs, some hiccups, some things here and there. But okay, good. I'm seeing that now. We are looking fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are all doing good. I'm going to try to watch everything as much as I can. Like I said, this is my first live stream I've ever done, so I'm going to have to try to get the hang of this. I don't know what this is going to look like. Right now, we have 0 people watching, but hopefully we can get that to change. A few things I want to talk about today. So it's hearing from some people, doing some talking, figuring out what should I do in the live stream. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm definitely at some point going to cover my opinions on the Avengers Doomsday cast, okay? Because they just did the announcement thing for that. I've been wanting to do that, and I figured, hey, you know what? This is as good a time as ever to go ahead and get the ball rolling on there, talk about it. Also, I might play some Fortnite and stuff because I don't really know exactly what I want to do for this live stream quite yet, but I can tell you that I do have some ideas, some things that I can do. I definitely want to keep the live stream going, keep retention, that kind of thing up. And so if you ever see on like Instagram Reels and stuff like that, when people put the, what's the game called? Why am I forgetting the name? Subway Surfers stuff. So basically, I can talk while doing Subway Surfers. Again, this is a very loose live stream. I don't have any strong ideas as to what it is I'm going to do yet. But I want to thank you guys all for joining. If you guys are watching the replay of this, thank you guys for watching nonetheless. But here's the dealio. In case you see me glancing off a lot, here's why, okay? So my setup I have here, I have my main monitor right in front of me, okay? I have my secondary monitor to the right side of me, okay? And then I have another monitor over here to, sorry, it's not my monitor, come to think of it. It's my camera is over there to my left, so that's where you guys are. So if you see me glancing off, it's because I have all my live stream stuff here on the right monitor, so I'm going to be looking away from you guys when I'm checking that stuff out. So all of the chats, things like that. But yeah, so let me know in the chats what you want me to talk about. Let me know what you think about things. We're going to dive into things in just a little bit. I do want to make sure we have time to let people on here. I, like I said, am trying to navigate some stuff. It says my bit rate is low. It says the stream's current bit rate is lower than recommended bit rate. We recommend you use blah, 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 whatever that means. So I'm going to take a look into that here and try to figure that out. I don't know how to do that. So I might actually play with some things. Also, let me know how I sound audio-wise, if I sound loud enough, because I can adjust all of that too. And when I go, you know, we might watch some videos or something like that. Hit me up, let me know, that kind of stuff. Because I have it muted right now, all the stuff from my desktop. So let me know how that all sounds, how that's all looking. But yeah, so again, I want to hear from you guys. What I see in the comments is going to very much dictate what it is I'm doing in this live stream. So definitely let me know what I should do. Like I said, I have some ideas. I want to talk about Avengers, things like that. The Doomsday cast, as I mentioned, was announced. We have 2 viewers right now. Heck yeah, let's go. Shout out, guys. Let me know in the comments that you're here. I'd greatly appreciate that. But yeah, so Avengers cast, I think we'll go ahead and dive into that. Let me go ahead and pull something up. I don't have anything like prepared in advance. I'm just going to find something I want to talk about. So Avengers Doomsday cast, we're going to talk about that. Let me pull up X here. Avengers cast. And I'm going to just pull up a post that's going over everything. Okay, because in case you guys weren't aware, okay, I'll catch up to speed while I'm looking for something. What happened was they did this live stream, I forget if it was earlier this week or, yeah, it was earlier this week, where they were announcing the Avengers Doomsday cast, okay? Here we go, here's one. So let me go ahead and adjust my thing here. Here we are on X. Okay, so this is the Avengers Doomsday cast. Some of these names, I'm not going to lie, so I have not been as big into the MCU as of lately because it's just they've been dropping the ball so much, and so there's a few names here that I didn't recognize off the top of my head. I recognize a lot of them, but not all of them. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So Robert Downey Jr., obviously, okay, Pedro Pascal, Chris Hemsworth, Vanessa Kirby, Anthony Mackie, okay. So let me back up. Actually, I'll tell you the characters. We got Doctor Doom, Mr. Fantastic, Thor, Invisible Woman, Captain America / Falcon, Winter Soldier, new Black Panther, Shuri, Paul Rudd, Wyatt Russell. I say Paul Rudd like he's not his own character. Paul Rudd, I mean Ant-Man, right? So we got Ant-Man, Paul Rudd. We got Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent. This guy, I think that's the guy everyone's saying is Namor. I actually don't know the actor's name for that, so I do apologize. But, yes, we got Namor. We got The Thing. We have... Why? I'm forgetting names. Shang-Chi, or Shang-Chi, however you pronounce his name. I don't know. I'm American. I say Shang-Chi. Looks like Shang-Chi to me. Florence Pugh. That's what's her face. I keep forgetting her character name too. She's Black Widow's sister. I forget. I completely forget her character's name. Not gonna lie. No disrespect or anything, but I just don't remember the character name. We got Kelsey Grammer, Beast. Lewis Pullman, who's I believe playing Sentry in the what's it called? He's playing Sentry in Thunderbolts coming up. Danny Ramirez, that's the new Falcon. Joseph Quinn, Human Torch. David Harbour, that's the Red Guardian. Winston Duke, that's the one guy from Wakanda. I forget the character's name, but the like gorilla-like guy or whatever. Hannah John Kamen, I think. Actually, I don't think I know who that is. Honestly, straight up. Maybe I should Google. Let me find out. Here, hold on. Who is Hannah John Kamen? I'm sure I'll find out as soon as I put this in here. Oh yeah, that's right. She's Ghost. So there's Ghost, Loki, Professor X, Patrick Stewart. Looking forward to that. I tell you that much. Tom Hiddleston. That's Loki, by the way. I said all that already. Ian McKellen, Magneto, Alan Cumming. Okay, which probably Nightcrawler, most likely Nightcrawler. Rebecca Ramajin. I don't know how you say it. Mystique, the original Mystique from the original X-Men movies. She's supposed to be here. And then we got James Marsden. I'm very excited for that. Cyclops, that's going to be great. And then Channing Tatum, of course, returning as Gambit. So there's a lot to say here. I do want to check YouTube, however, though, 1 second. So I'm going to put myself back up here big for privacy purposes and just check and see if I can see. Here we go. The man, the myth, the legend, Austin Wolf. He says audio sounds good. Austin, glad you're here. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to find a way that I can move these screens around so that way I can see the chat, because I care very much about being able to see that. Here's the pop-out chat button. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Fantastic. Awesome. So now I can watch the chat and manage everything really well. Okay, so let's go back to the Avengers cast, right? Back to the Avengers cast. So I'm kind of excited. I'm mostly excited by the characters who don't seem like they should be here, meaning like the X-Men characters for the most part, you know, the more oddball characters. But what strikes me more than who is announced is who is not announced. Because there's a lot of names that I don't see here. For one, like the entire cast of the Marvels isn't here. And, I mean, I don't have a problem with the other characters from the Marvels. I do have a problem with Brie Larson. So if she's not in this movie, that's going to make me want to see it more. Not going to lie. I don't like Brie Larson. Don't like Brie Larson at all. So I don't mind that. Tom Holland's not in this. Now, I heard a rumor that this movie is going to take place alongside Spider-Man 4. And to be quite honest, I actually don't have a major problem with Spider-Man's in this movie. I know that might sound crazy. Spider-Man's a great character, don't get me wrong. But on the other hand, we just went to the point where we got him back as a street-level hero, and now there's a big Avengers event happening again, and it just feels like it's undoing everything it just did if it were to bring Tom Holland into this. So I'm actually not complaining very much there at all. I would like to see him in Secret Wars. So I do want to see that. They did not announce any of the other Spider-Men too, which I don't think most people were expecting that. But I think the fact that they at least talked about the X-Men characters makes me think that the other Spider-Man characters could potentially join. They also did not talk about Hugh Jackman, okay, Wolverine, or Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. So that's interesting. Those are the few things that kind of popped out in my mind, because the way Deadpool and Wolverine ended, it didn't end on a cliffhanger or anything like that, for those guys who didn't see it. But it did end in a way where there was a whole lot of... Well, let me back it up like this. Well, let me rephrase what I'm trying to say. Basically, the way the movie ended, and from what everyone said beforehand, they said this is going to be the bridge to bring Deadpool into the MCU, right? Well, the movie ended. Deadpool was still not in the MCU. So I'm like, okay, what the heck? Now, what happened was that I think they left the movie, though, in a place where they kind of have to pick it up to bring Deadpool into the MCU. So I think if not in this movie, definitely in Secret Wars, we're going to be seeing Deadpool come back, because he has to have that scene with Thor, as, you know, we saw with the TVA. So yeah, I don't know. So something's got to happen there. Something needs to appear. So we'll see. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. I'm kind of neutral about it, though, generally speaking, just across the board, because I really don't know what else to say here. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I think they're having some good characters and people and stuff. I do think this is definitely going to... Honestly, here's what I do think, okay? I think that Doomsday and Secret Wars are going to be the two movies that are going to end... And I believe this is the plan, actually, too, to end the multiverse saga. Because what I see happening is... The multiverse stuff's going to kick off here because the Fantastic Four movies, and we see all of the new Fantastic Four members in this lineup, they're all from a different universe than the main MCU, which is very apparent, especially if you look at what people have said and if you go and look at just the whole aesthetic of the movie and everything. It's very obvious. I think, depending on how it turns out, I think Galactus might have a big reason, since he's the main villain of the new Fantastic Four movie coming out. I think he's going to have a big reason for why these guys are all going to come together, or he's going to meet with them. It's going to have something to do with Galactus, I think. I don't know what exactly. I have some theories, but nothing super hardcore yet. But I think that's going to happen. And so we're seeing at least 3 different universes right now coming together. We have X-Men, the X-Men movie universe. We have the new Fantastic Four universe. And then, of course, we have the main Marvel universe. And I believe what they're going to do, just as pure speculation, but I just have really good, strong reason. My gut's telling me this is what's going to happen. They're going to bring just about everybody they can back for Secret Wars, because they're basing the Secret Wars off of the more recent Secret Wars comics. And so as a result, what they're going to be doing, I think, is they're all going to be fighting. You know, we'll have worlds colliding, stuff like that. There's all going to have reasons to fight, things of that nature. And they're eventually going to use that as a soft reboot point for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That way they can cast new Tony Starks. They can bring Miles Morales in at that point, I think, would be a good idea. They can do all kinds of stuff. Because since they have actors and they've either A, aged out, or B, just, you know, not interested anymore, it would make for a great new jumping on point. So they can kind of, just like they do in the comics, pick and choose what's still canon, what they still like, what they still want, and then go back to some status quos, put new actors in certain roles, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what I see happening. I really don't know, but hey, let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious. So again, that's what the chat is for. So let me know what you guys are thinking here. I'm going to sip some water here quick. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my big spiel on that. So I'm going to go ahead, make myself large again, all for privacy purposes. And I'm going to go ahead and check out how things are looking as far as analytics and all that good stuff. So give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it. It's weird. Again, like, Marvel's really been disappointing me a lot lately. So I don't really know what to think, to be quite honest. I'm just kind of meh about the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of, it is what it is. I will probably go and see Secret Wars and Doomsday when they come out. I know the other one's coming out first, so don't get me wrong. But yeah, I don't know. Guess that's just the way I'm thinking about it. But anyways, yeah. So there's that at least. You guys are in the chat. Hey, let me know. Give me a holler. We'll get things moving on. I know I got a lot of hot takes and opinions and stuff like that. I've done a lot of videos lately. If you haven't seen my videos lately, go check those out. I just finished dropping my giant Dexter supercut. So in case you guys didn't see it, I watched every single episode of Dexter, every season, every episode, and I reviewed all of them as well. And I released them as individual videos, sort of, you know, like your more bite-sized, run-of-the-mill type of things. And then I made the supercut where I edited all of them together, and I included some content I did not talk about inside the smaller videos. And I also ranked them at the end as well. So you guys can go and check those out. I was having a little comment discussion on that today, actually, with a guy who just could not respect my opinion that season 3... Not season 3, sorry. Season 6, in my opinion, is the worst season, worse than season 8. Yeah, so I don't know. In case you guys aren't aware of this, I know my man, the man, the myth, the legend, the one man who's commented already, Austin Wolf, he knows this, okay, because we talk about that. He's a personal friend of mine. But my comment section, to be quite honest, if I reply to stuff, I usually reply to just about everything that I can. But a lot of times I really just use it to troll, to be quite honest, especially if someone doesn't agree with me. Because the truth of the matter is, online, you're not going to be changing anyone's opinion. I'm not going to change someone else's opinion. They're not going to change my opinion. So I use it just to troll and to engagement farm as much as I can. And I know I posted one specific political video, and man, the trolling was insane because of course, I got the, what do you want to call them? The opposite, people on the opposite side than I am to watch the video. And it was pretty great. And so I went to town just trolling in those comments, and it was a great time. It was a great time. So that was fun, but I was able to farm a lot of engagement off of that from there. But yeah, so that's what we got going on here. Again, we're still rocking and rolling. We're still chugging along. So if you guys have any questions, anything you want me to cover specifically, let me know. I'm waiting here with the comments. Again, we got a lot of good things going on here. A lot of things I can talk about. I might go ahead and pop open some Fortnite, like I said, just to kill some time, talk about some things. Fortnite, by the way, in case you don't know, guilty pleasure of mine. A lot of people make fun of me for being as much into Fortnite as I am. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I will say I have spent way too much money in Fortnite. More money than I'm willing to admit. Because, I don't know, I'm a sucker for the collabs. I mean, I'm an MCU fan. Of course I'm a fan of collabs. So there's one thing. I am playing on controller, by the way. I got this really sweet Xbox Series X controller. I know I'm playing on PC, and most people would expect me to not be using a controller. But guess what? You don't always get what you want, and I do. It's my game. It's my stream. Do what I want. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open here. I'm going to launch the game. For some reason on my computer, the anti-cheat likes to glitch from time to time and just completely shut the game down, and that's annoying. I was playing with my roommate today, some Fortnite, and that happened to me in the middle of the game, and I'm like, what the heck? In fact, last weekend, too, we were playing Fortnite, and just in the middle of the game, it just booted me. And I'm like, well, great. This was his first game we ever played, too, of, like, Battle Royale. So, that's fun. I was thinking about wearing, my classic K-Swope get-up, the flash hat and the jacket today. But then, it's like, it's about 80 degrees here. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that at all. Because that's just way too hot for me. And don't get me wrong. I'm all about that HOTTOGO. But, yeah, no, not today. Also, not to mention here in my room, it is hot. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. It's because I just turned the AC on today, and I'll probably only be on for today. So, that's fascinating. Alrighty. I'll show you guys my Fortnite here in just a little bit. Let me wait for it to boot up and for me to get into the game. I want to consider playing OG again. I have not actually given OG much of a chance. I tried playing when it first dropped, but I have not played OG very much at all, to be quite honest. All right, so there we go. There we have it. Fortnite and Marquez Brownlee. So there you go. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn my... Hello. Ladies and gentlemen. Check, check, 1, 2. Hey, am I back? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm back. If you guys can see me, please shout me out in the comments. Greatly appreciate that. Then we can get rolling again. I did see Mr. 928 Studios Incorporated says, sorry I'm late. I am indeed here. Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate that. Yes, I'm back. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, yeah, so sorry about that. What I was doing is I was waiting to get some people on, some stuff like that. I was trying to launch Fortnite, and I guess it was just too much at once that everything just, crashed on me, which is unfortunate. Thankfully, the stream was still up, and I could still, comment, but I had to go in and frantically figure out, to get this up and running again. This is my first time live streaming, in case you didn't know. So, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place because I don't really know what I'm doing. So, yeah, fun, as the Beach Boys would say. All right, so let me see what I can do here. I'm going to pop the chat into a separate window again. There we go. And I'm going to move stuff around, manage things, yada, yada, yada. There we go. Alrighty. So we are all good. Anyways, so if you're just popping in, I talked about the Avengers cast. I was saying how they have some people that I like that they're adding. I mean, like, most of the cast I like. I'll put it like that. Most cast I like. It is a massive stacked cast. But I'm more surprised. I take more from the people they didn't include than the people that they did. For example, Ryan Reynolds, Tom Holland, people that just weren't mentioned there. I thought that was very interesting. They mentioned none of the Marvel's cast, which was also very, very interesting, other than Kelsey Grammer, if you will, because, you know, he was Beast in that. So there's something to think about. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know what the heck's going on. However, if they decide to not bring Brie Larson back, by all means, I'm A-okay with that. I'll tell you that much. The rest of the Marvel's cast, if they bring them back, sure, okay, that's fine. But yeah, if they want to keep Brie Larson out, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. So yes. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see if I can boot Fortnite up here again. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know anything you want me to mention or talk about specifically. Again, full of opinions and ideas. I have no real direction for this live stream, which I guess you could say is a bad thing, but still, I mean, I want something to do, and I figured, hey, you know what? Fortnite's something to do, so let's go ahead and try that out. So I'm going to boot up the game, and once we're up and running, hopefully if my PC doesn't crash again, we're going to go ahead and watch that. So in case you guys didn't know, by the way, if you see me glancing to the right a lot, here's why. So my camera's off to the left right here. So how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing good. My screen, my main PC screen, is right here in front of me. And then my second screen that's got all my stuff going on with YouTube and the chat and everything is on my right side here. So if I keep glancing this way, it's because I want to see if you guys are commenting anything. I got the chat and all that stuff going on here too. So keep that in mind. There is probably a little bit of a lag, a little bit of a delay. I don't know how all that kind of stuff works. So if I don't see your comments immediately, I do apologize. But here we go. Let's hope this does not screw everything up again. And also let me know how it sounds when I have the game sounds running and everything, because that is also quite important. If it crashes, again, guys, I'll be back as soon as possible. I'm just going to do the same thing, boot everything back up. But my PC hasn't crashed like that in a long time. Windows, at least. It was like the whole Windows crash, and then I had to like reboot real quick. I was having a problem at one point where I kept doing that a lot, but this is the first time it's happened to me in like months. So maybe just because I'm trying to do and run a lot. So I got the Fortnite game sounds going right now. Let me know how it sounds to you guys versus my voice, how the mixing is, because I will definitely swap things up, move things around based on how you guys think I sound. So keep me in the loop. But here we go. Let me go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's change that. Let's put myself over. Yeah. Perfect. Anyways, yeah. So what's going on? I'll play some Zero build. I'm playing on controller, by the way, too, in case you missed me mention that. Because I do what I want, and I like playing on controller. Alrighty. So let's see here. Yeah. I will say, so Fortnite. I got a lot of stuff. I go really hard at Fortnite with my loadouts and stuff. So like that's my loadout number one is always just my like normal basic like whatever last I used loadout. And then the first Marvel season was the first Battle Pass I ever got, so I have all the original Marvel Battle Pass skins. So I absolutely love these guys right here. I was playing as Wolverine last too. That was fun. I got the that one Joker bundle, right? Because I got Joker, Poison Ivy, and Midas Rex. I had no clue who Midas was also when I got this. And then after going to the Fortnite lore, I'm like, oh yeah, Midas is awesome. So there's that. These fun loadouts too. I got the Green Arrow skin, guys, and this is probably I want to say it's the rarest DC skin. So maybe I'll play as it. I don't know. That's a fun one. It's based on the CW, and I don't know why they did this, but the Green Arrow and the Flash in this game are both based off of CW costumes. I don't know why they did that. I wonder if it's because they want to do a more comic Flash and Green Arrow at some point. I don't know. But, and to be honest, like, I watched Arrow, okay? And I liked the first two seasons were fantastic. the next, well, let me put it like this. Season 3 and 4 were not good. Season 5 I liked. And then it just kind of, after that, it all just kind of gets blurry in my mind. I don't really remember much. I know I didn't finish it. I think I stopped some way midway through season 7, honestly, which is like the second to last season. But this is not his best costume either. I really like his seasons like 4 and 5 costumes, honestly. So I don't know what's up with that. Or even his like season 1 and 2 costume. I like that one a lot too. Now the Flash, this is probably my second favorite costume from the show, I'm not gonna lie. Because it's a nice costume. I do like it. But I think his best costume is probably the one that he had at the end of the show, where it looked very similar. It looked like the next evolution of this, but it was like more skin tight and streamlined. So I appreciated that quite a lot, and so I quite enjoyed seeing that costume. I don't have a picture of it up right now, but maybe I'll do that at some point. But yeah, I don't know. So I mean, this is just me. Did you get the Mandalorian? He's got all this nice shiny Beskar armor. Speaking of which, that's one thing I want to say too about Fortnite. So apparently the next season is going to be a Star Wars season of Fortnite. And I have mixed feelings on that because I love the Marvel seasons. You know, I got the Battle Pass. I played, you know, through a lot of the first two. I say that like there's going to be a third. I don't know if there's going to be a third or not. Marvel seasons. But I played through the Marvel seasons. Love those a lot. Now, here's the thing. I like Star Wars. My relationship with Star Wars is rocky because I don't know. See, this is really complicated, okay? This is like talking about like a deep traumatic moment. I loved Star Wars growing up a lot as a kid. I really did. And then I really just didn't like what they were doing with the sequels and everything like that. I mean, just not good at all. Yeah, Disney kind of, I don't say Disney ruined Star Wars per se, because like the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were pretty fantastic. Plus we got Baby Yoda, okay? Baby Yoda is adorable. And I know he's got a name, but I refuse to call him that name. He's just Baby Yoda to me. So, yeah, anyways, I mean, like, there has been some good stuff that Disney's done with Star Wars, but just generally, I don't love Star Wars like I used to. I don't watch stuff just because it's Star Wars. Sorry, Austin, I know you're watching this. Sorry to break your heart. But, again, I like Star Wars. I just don't love it like I used to. But anyways, that's my Star Wars rant. Here we got Batman. This is the first Batman skin I got in the game. This was the, back from, I think, is it Primal? Is that what it's called? Let's find out. Hold on. So, no, sorry, Batman Zero. Yeah, they made a whole comic arc, actually. Which I own it. I haven't read it yet, but it's a Fortnite crossover. And one thing I will say, so I got this Batman skin. And I think this skin, honestly, if they made... Actually, let me back up. Let me show you something, and then I'll explain it to you. So, this is the original Batman skin in Fortnite. And when it's done loading, hold on. Austin appreciates my honesty on Star Wars. Yeah. Again, I don't dislike Star Wars. I also just don't love it like I used to be quite honest. But yeah, so this is the original Batman skin. And this skin is fine. But when you look at it and you look at like the head and the cowl and everything, and then you compare it over here to this one, I think this cowl and this head model looks so much better than this one. Now, this one's more based on the Chapter 1 art style, but I wish you could just like pop his head off and put this Batman's head on top, you know what I'm saying? Because that would be an amazing Batman suit. I love the heavy New 52 inspiration, because I think a New 52 suit was one of my favorites, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad looking at all, but also, you know, it's just mid. Dark Knight suit Batman. That load in a little bit here. It'll take a minute or two. But this skin's interesting because, like, I like it and I kind of don't at the same time, because it, like, I love that it looks like the Dark Knight, right? And that's cool. But on the other hand, it's just, it looks a little too, like, doughy, like, too, like, soft, too squishy. And I don't like that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really like that all that much. Oh, we got Slade. Deathstroke, right? So, that's pretty neat skin. I will tell you, though, this might be my most used skin I've ever used in Fortnite. And it's so random. It's Bloodsport from the Suicide Squad. I don't know why, but like when I'm playing this skin, it just feels right. I don't know how else to describe it. And of course, you got Starro with a little mouse. I forget if that red mouse is a name or not. I forget if they said it in movie. But yeah, here's something else that's weird, by the way. So, Fortnite, they got multiple game stuff now, right? They have... this has been around for like a year or two at this point, but basically, they have normal Battle Royale, right? What they came to be known for. They got the Battle Royale, and then they have all these other ones. And then they have... what else? Well, really what happened is when Lego came in, they're like, okay, let's diversify. Let's make certain parts of the game different ratings, which is kind of weird. And Bloodsport has a Lego version. Lego version is rated like E or E10 or something like that. And he's from a hard R rated movie, okay? Like, it's got a hard R rating, okay? And someone like Deadpool, who also has a hard R rated movie, does not have a Lego Fortnite skin, which is weird. But Bloodsport does. So, like, watch this. So let me show this to you. Also, I did see your comment. Bloodsport does look great. The mouse name. Thank you. Yes, Sebastian. That's right. I remember that now. Also, I might want to mute my audio because it's playing copyright music. There we go. I don't want that to be coming through because that will hopefully... I don't want my live stream to get screwed up. But yes, Sebastian, Bloodsport. I love this skin so much. But like, watch this. Let's pull up one of the Lego ones. Here we go. So, Lego Fortnite, right? So, like, I can play as Bloodsport in Lego Fortnite, and that's so weird. But then if I go to my locker again, go to my loadouts, and then I go down here to... I don't have the original Deadpool skin, unfortunately, but I got this one. It won't let me play as it. So I'm like, what the heck? That's, like, insane. Can't play as Eminem. That makes sense. Can't play as any of the Invincible characters. Okay, yeah. Can't play as Michael Myers. Okay, I get that, but... yeah, I don't know. Can't play as Ash Williams. That's dumb. Come on, guys. Ash Williams is from a children's movie, obviously. It's only called The Evil Dead. Obviously, it's made for children. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, so there you have it, guys. There you have it. But also, I think it's weird that they decided to make the skin main color black when I think, like, the normal version actually looks blue. So, like, let's go back here. It's like... underneath looks a little black, but like the armor platings and stuff, they look very blue if you ask me. So, I don't know. I think it's an interesting creative choice for both things. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Hold on a second. Yikes, he looks scuffed. So, Mr. 928 Studios Inc., when you say he looks scuffed, are we talking the Lego version or... where? Because the Lego version, I don't think it looks great. I don't know if I said that or not. But actually, I can't. I wish I could just easily swap to see. Or can I? No, that's Lego kits. Never mind. Losing my mind. Do I have? Oh, no. I can see what I have. Never mind. Losing my mind. Yeah, but anyways. So there's that. Very interesting. Very funny. I'm going to actually move some things around on my monitor so I can see the chat a little better. Move that to the left side of my screen so I can see that faster. Give me a second. I gotta play with my stuff a little bit. And then I'll launch into a game. Lego version, the actual model looks great. Yeah, the Lego version, I don't think it looks great either. I'm not gonna lie. So that's kind of, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'll go ahead and launch into a game. So we'll go ahead and do that. Like I said, I'm not playing this to do like a Fortnite stream. I'm playing this just because I want something to give people to watch, especially if you're getting one who's just kind of scrolling by on YouTube just so they see something interesting, if that makes sense. So in a way, I'm kind of just clickbaiting with it, to be completely honest. So, all right, I am going to, as soon as this lobby music ends, here's what's doing. It's playing Cranked Out by Soulja Boy because I got the, it was like, I think, was it the Snoop Dogg pass? I think it was, that had that song. And I got it because I bought the subscription for a month. What was it? It's Fortnite Crew, that's right. And it just gave me that for free. And I'm like, oh, okay. But it's not a bad song, Crank That. Oh, that reminds me, you guys who were here and watching. What would you think if I did, like, music-related reviews and stuff? Because I want to do that a little bit. Now, I'm by no means a massive music know-it-all, but I do love a lot of music, and so I was thinking about that. I would, by the way, my first thing I was thinking about is one of my favorite bands of all time is Weezer, and so music's back on. No, stop, zip it, Soulja Boy. Anyways, Weezer, I love Weezer. And so I would love to sometime go in and listen to all the albums and rank them and do that kind of thing. Because, yeah, there's some diehard Weezer fans, and I'm sure, a lot of people would be interested in hearing that out. A lot of people are probably going to watch it just to disagree with me, but I don't care. That's still engagement. But, yeah, so let me think about that idea. I don't know how many people we got on right now. Mr. 928 Studios Inc. says, I keep saying Mr. That's not actually coming up as his name, but I'm just saying that anyways. Music reviews could work. I don't know, though. Austin, he's down for some music reviews. Yes. The thing is, it's going to be a big undertaking, so I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. I am actually, I'll tell you about this idea I'm working on. So I did the video, okay? I did the one a little bit ago asking people for their ideas, what I should do, that kind of thing. And I got really 2 responses. One was our friend here, 928 Studios Inc. He and another friend of mine both said they wanted a lot more superhero stuff. So I was thinking to myself, okay, I can think of a lot of superhero stuff to do, but what should I do? That was the real question. And I came to this conclusion, and I'm going to be posting this hopefully sometime next week. I just need to, work on it and finish it. But here's a fun idea. What if, off the top of my memory, I recite, if you will, some superhero movie badly, and then I animate it with Microsoft Paint. Oh shoot, see, shaders take forever to log in. But yeah, what if I did that? And I was like, I love that idea. It's going to take me a little time to put the video together, but the first video I'm doing, the movie that it's going to be about, is going to be Deadpool. So I'm going to be reciting Deadpool from memory. So that's going to be fun, I think. Now, I will say I picked Deadpool for a reason, and that reason was because I once made a PG-13 edit of Deadpool so I could have something to show my little sister because I wanted her to see the movie. And because of that, I saw Deadpool like a million times because I had to, keep watching and rewatching, basically. And as a result, I feel really confident in, reciting what happens in Deadpool off the top of my head because, like I said, I watch it so many times. Alrighty. And we got 928 Studios says, oh, I love that idea. There are also ranking videos, which I really like your Spider-Man one. Yes, thank you. I'm thinking about more ranking videos. My thing is kind of this, because, I do like doing reviews. I do want to try doing more than just reviews, though. But my idea with ranking is I kind of want to, there's the ranking like the superhero costumes, which I'd definitely be interested in doing more of. Now, I have not gotten a whole lot of action on those posts, unfortunately. But I have gotten, wait, hold on a second. There we go. I've not gotten a whole lot of stuff on those, a whole lot of interaction or anything like that. So I put it like this. I want to be able to make money on YouTube, and so as much as I love the idea and I'd love to do more of that, I would also like to do so that people want to watch. But I do like hearing from you guys, so I will definitely consider everything you guys are suggesting. Shoot, hold on. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Hey, there we go. Anyways, yeah. So that's a fun idea, I think. And, I can try doing some more movies. I think that's the kind of thing that would do good on YouTube. So my idea is also for movies I've seen less times, other than Deadpool that I've seen a million times, that I can just kind of recite what happens generally. I would be doing different kinds of stuff, doing it a different way. So I'd probably watch the movie once without taking notes and then recite it all, and I think that'll make it funny because it's probably going to be worse. And I think the worse it is, the more funny it's going to be. And that's why I'm also going to animate it somewhat poorly. I want to make them, kind of like fast-paced too, because, that's funny. So at least I think it's funny. It's funny in my opinion. We'll put it like that. So a lot of ideas. Now this season of Fortnite, I will say, for those of you guys who are watching the Fortnite stuff, I am not quite as... I haven't played this season a whole lot yet. I know it's like almost over, but I still haven't played it that much. And as a result, I don't know what half this new stuff is. So I'm just kind of going on a whim here. Woohoo! I think I got a good shot now. Let's use it to my advantage. I'm probably in with a lot of bots too, because like I said, I've not played this season much at all. I've played some Fortnite, but not some like Battle Royale type of stuff. But anyways. Fun. Ooh, shoot, look at this guy. Nice. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so I like that idea. I'm trying to think of other fun creative things because, you know, with YouTube, you got to find like a niche, right? And so I'm trying to find, you know, what niches can I fall into. I want to make some type of video that people crave, if you will, something that they find, you know, really unique and interesting. And also something that, you know, I find fulfilling to make. So that's very important. Ooh, just like that. Thank you very much. Yeah, but anyways, so that's just kind of my thoughts as far as how that goes. Something else I wanted to say too. I forget what it had to do. It was similar. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, that's right. I remember what I was gonna say now. I'm losing my train of thought. It happens all the time. I'll tell you, when I'm actually recording these videos that I do, I will start saying a sentence really strong and exciting, and then by the time it gets to the end of the sentence, I'm like, what was I talking about again? So, I don't know. Maybe I have, like, some undiagnosed ADHD or some junk like that. I don't know. Oh, crap. Ooh, that's a bot. That is not a bot. Oh, crap. What the crap? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, well. Let's get back to lobby for a moment. So anyways, yeah, Fortnite. Fortnite is fun. But anyways, yes, a lot of ideas going on. Yeah, here's what I was going to say. I work full-time in marketing. So I'm trying to take a lot of what I've learned from that and applying it. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Actually, there's a streamer-friendly mode on Fortnite, is there not? Something I can do in the things? I think there is. That'll, like, turn copyright music off or something like that. But anyways, yeah, so a lot going on with that. I work in marketing. I'm trying to take all the stuff I know from marketing and apply it as much as I can to my YouTube because, you know, I'm learning about how to get people to engage, that kind of stuff. And so I might as well use it for my own, for lack of a better term, selfish benefit. So fun, 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 as the Beach Boys would say. So I do what I can, but like I said, I really need the retention. I need people to watch the stuff because the more people watch and like stuff, the more content I'm going to try to gravitate towards. So as I mentioned with the reviews, I like doing the review. Excuse me, I can't talk. I'd like to do the reviews. I'd like to do more reviews. However, not all of them are performing the greatest. So I'm sort of trying to try out some new ideas and just kind of see what I can come up with. If that makes any sense to you guys. But yes, fun, 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 as the Beach Boys would say. And I left the lobby for a reason. See, I'm trying to multitask too much now. My mind's not working. Came out here. I wanted to check something. What was it? I don't remember. I did pass the pass zone. I can unlock some stuff. So let's see what I have not unlocked yet. A backplay I'm never going to use. Yeah, let's get that. What else we got here? Okay. Bruno Mars, he would like that. If I got the Bruno Mars skin, which I don't want, but if I were to hypothetically get it, that'd be a great one for that. Because he's got that 24 karat magic in the air. I will say the OG pass looks pretty exciting, not going to lie, this season. So that's fun. On a completely unrelated note, so I just bought, like, last night on Steam because it was, like, $2. I'm a big sucker for Lego games, okay? I absolutely love Lego games. And one of the games that I did not previously own, this is not one of the Traveler's Tales games, you know, one of the classic ones, that I saw and I purchased, was Lego Battles. It was, like, $2. And I gotta tell you, that game is fun. I do quite enjoy that. It's very similar to, like, Super Smash Bros., but it's not. And, yeah. It's similar to Smash Bros. In terms of, like, the way it is. But, yeah, interesting stuff. All right, Mr. 928 Studios, Inc. says, I'm going to run. Hope to catch the next stream. Hit me up if you want to discuss. Sounds good, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Hope to catch you later. But, yeah, so fun stuff there. Lego Battles, that's a fun one. But, yeah, that's right. I was looking at streamer settings. That's what I was going to do. See, I think of like a million things to do in my head at once, and I just forget everything. to help, I mean, he says. 928 Studios Inc. Hit me up if you want to help. Is it you want me to help? Sorry if I'm sounding a little confused here. I appreciate the comments though, nonetheless. But yeah, I love the feedback. So as much feedback as I can get, I'm going to gladly take and run with. So let me know. Because like I said, I want you guys to run my channel. I want to know from you guys what you like, what you want to watch, and then from there make decisions upon what I'm going to do and that kind of thing. What stuff to make. Now, there's a streamer mode setting here somewhere. Let me see here. Licensed audio. Mute. Yeah, there we go. That's the thing for streaming. But yeah. Now here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to pop over back to YouTube real quick. So I'm going to make myself big again. I'm going to look over there just to see what's going on. See if there's anything I'm missing. Again, this is my first stream, so I don't know what we're looking at here. So concurrent viewers, number of viewers connected to the stream at the mostly recently available time. No clue what the heck that means. Total number of streams viewed while it was live. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Total amount of people spent. Time people spent watching the stream. Okay, not a problem. I'm looking at the analytics. This is all new to me, so I'm watching all of this stuff as I'm doing it, trying to figure out what this looks like. I will say, I don't have told you this yet or not, but in case you didn't hear, what I'd love to do is I would love, once I get my benchmarks I'm trying to hit for subscribers, things like that. In fact, it's really just subscribers. I need subscribers and watch hours. I'm confident I'm going to hit my watch hours before the year is up, but I don't know about the subscribers yet. I'm at just under 200 now. So I do, of course, appreciate as many subs as I can get. But the idea being, I'd love to do some videos, some of these live streams where I am watching and playing some really heavy story-based games. So I love Telltale games, so I'd love to play some of those with you guys here on stream. And then as of course I'm doing things, we can discuss. I can see you guys in the comments, see what you guys would do, see what you guys would think. I would love to do that kind of thing. So yeah, that'd be very, very fun. Again, this is my first live stream. I don't really know what I want to do. I really want to hear from you guys, though. Like I said, I love hearing feedback. I want to hear what you guys think. We got some great things going on, some nice stuff cooking here. So yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it anyways. I don't know, did YouTube cut me off at all at any point in terms of time and streaming and everything like that? Because I see here, right now they're giving me, it looks like it's about an hour and 46 minutes. I don't know what that means. I'm kind of confused, but got plenty more time to kill. So that being said, we got a lot that we can do. I want to know what you guys want me to do, because I can do a lot. I can say a lot. I could just start doing something. We'll see what that something is, maybe. Let me go ahead. I think I'll close down Fortnite. I think I've played enough of that for now. So it was a fun 2 games or so. But we shall leave that behind. Rest in peace, Fortnite. Just kidding. Fortnite was down recently. I was looking on X and I saw something like that. Someone was telling me the Fortnite was down. So, yeah, I don't know. So let's see here. What's worth talking about? You know what? I'm going to go on to X and I'm just going to see what pops up. And I'm just going to talk about some things. Here's a question. What do you guys think about Myers-Briggs' personality? Because I am very fascinated. It is a very interesting thing. I used to be kind of obsessed with it, and I've become less obsessed with it, but I'm still interested in it. I don't know if you've watched Andor or not, but season 2 is coming out soon. I don't know your opinion on this. I've not watched Andor. People say it's good. But to be honest, when people say something is good and it's something that people would normally say is good, it makes me not want to watch it, if that makes any sense. So I don't think that it is bad per se, because I haven't watched it. But I don't know. It doesn't excite me, if that makes any sense. So we'll see. Here's something interesting. So Elon Musk, he bought X again with his other company, which is really weird. Bought Twitter again. I don't know what that's about, but I mean, he still owns it because now he owns the company that owns Twitter. So he sold it to himself. I don't know what that looks like. I think he got a big chunk of money from it, probably, I would think. So I have no idea. Also, here's something I don't get. So, I don't know if you're aware of this. Impractical Jokers. On Impractical Jokers, I know I'm totally changing the topic right now, but there was this story that broke. And the story was that Joe Gatto. In fact, let's pull this down. We can look at Twitter right now. Let's look at Twitter right now. Joe Gatto. Someone was accusing him of a form of assault that a lot of people on YouTube refer to as SA, if you know what I'm saying. And so I heard the lady out. I watched the things that she posted and stuff like that. The problem is everything seemed consensual. There's no indication. She gave us no indication that he did anything wrong or he forced himself on her or anything like that. It looks like things got rough, but I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between being a crappy human being and being, what's the word? One of those people, a assaulter, a SAer. But I don't think that's the case. There's nothing that makes me think that. I think it's a crappy thing because it seemed like from where the timeline looked, he was being unfaithful to his wife. And so, of course, I don't condone that whatsoever. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, what happened to Murr? Someone says here, this guy, I don't even know who this guy is. Icy Vert. The last week summarized. And so I get the Joe thing. I don't get the Murr thing. So now I'm actually really curious. What the heck happened to Murr from Impractical Jokers? Don't scroll here. I always knew Q and Sal the normal ones. Here we go. This guy asked, what did Murr do? Let's see. He got a few comments. What's this? Okay, that's odd. Sending messages to minors. Dated an underage girl and sent messages to minors. I thought he was gay. Wow. A child. Really? Interesting. That's super sus. This is funny right here. This is really funny. Hope you guys can see that. Uncle Hoodie. Yeah, so that's weird. Maybe we should do a little more research into that. Hold on a second. Let's look at this up. What's his name against Murray? Here we go. Murray and Practical Jokers. When I type in Murr, that just comes up. Just sending inappropriate messages to minors. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I don't know, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube or anything like that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to look and see what this says, and I will show you guys what I need to see. So this headline, this is from the Express Tribune. Never heard of that company, but headline says, James Murray, that's his name, it's James Murray, of Impractical Jokers. Excuse me, I'm reading this all wrong. James Murray accused of sending inappropriate message to a minor. Allegations surface amid Impractical Jokers fallout. So let's see what this is about here. James Murray, star of Impractical Jokers, under scrutiny after a Reddit user accused him of exchanging inappropriate messages with her and when she was a minor. The allegations emerged on March 27th, just days after comedian Joe Gatto. Yeah, okay. We went over that stuff already. So here's what we got. Pulls up. This looks like this is a screenshot from Reddit I'm reading right here off of, and I'll show it to you guys here in a little bit. I just want to make sure it's clean and sanitized. In case you don't know, I like to keep things PG-13 on my channel, so I don't want to, go crazy, share anything, too off or bad. But here's what it says. The person who posted it titled it Murr Screenshots and Pictures. I don't see any screenshots and pictures on this, but I've only shared what I feel comfortable with at the moment. Censored for obvious reasons. I was 16/17 when I first reached out to say I was a fan. That's when he offered, meet and greet tickets. I cannot read out loud to save my life. I'm not going to lie. It's hard for me. On the night, I ended up being all access. I met him before the show for dinner and went to the after party where me and my friend were given shots all night. Whoa. He kissed me. Whoa. I don't remember much else about that night. Well, yeah, you took a bunch of shots when you were underage. Of course you're not going to remember much. Anyways, we met up again a few times. When he came to London, I would go to the parties and stay in his hotel. Okay, just the hotel, not the hotel room. Okay. Getting a little worried there for a second. I haven't uploaded the video in the hotel room as my friend is indecent. His management and team were there. That's weird. He bought me lots of nice things, gave me money for private taxis and things no adult would have been needing money for. Some texts from when I was in New York, he was begging me to come over in the middle of the night. That's super sus. I was with my mum, so she's definitely British. We know that now for a fact. Hopefully, maybe, kind of, sort of. I don't know. Anyways, she's with her mum. I ended up going to his apartment the next day. There's a picture from that night. Again, I don't see it here because I'm looking at this thing posted on X. This all happened between the ages of 16 and 18. Please remember, I was young. I thought the celebrity liked me and that it was going to be the coolest thing ever at the time. I acknowledge my part in this, but people need to be aware so something worse doesn't happen to other young women. I met girls as young as 15 doing illicit substances with guys at parties. Be safe. That's the whole thing. So let me show it to you. I just read this whole thing right here. So that's kind of rough. Not going to lie. Bad look for our buddy, James Murray. So let's go ahead, close that up, and then let's go back to this thing I was reading. The user who identifies herself as Melissa claimed the two also exchanged messages about explicit topics, including, I'm not going to repeat that, but they are toys that are made to look like male anatomy. We'll put it like that. And even said, I love you to each other. That's very sus. She wrote, I've only shared what I feel comfortable with at the moment. Censor the obvious. Yeah, she said all that. I read all that. Read all that too. All right, that's where it just kind of stops. So, anyways, so that's rough. That's not good. I liked Murray. Murr was one of my favorite. Now, I haven't done a deep dive into this, so I don't want to go ahead and just say, oh, Murr's a terrible person. Because like I said, with the whole Joe Gatto thing, I don't think there's enough for Joe to, you know... I don't think there's enough evidence there to say, okay, Joe's a bad guy. I think he was doing crappy things, but I don't think he, you know, did anything illegal or, you know, super off the chain bad. You know, there's a big difference. So this is all, from what I'm seeing, her word. So it makes Murray look bad, but I also, you know, I don't want to take what she's saying as gospel because, you know, anyone could be lying. There's many reasons to lie about celebrities for some type of clout or whatever. So, or lawsuits to get money. So, yeah, that's interesting. Very odd. Okay, so if you scroll down when you just Google James Murray, look at this. This is great. I love this. See up here it says spouses, Melissa Davies, married in 2020, and Jenna Volcano. Okay, I don't know if you were aware of this, but one of the funniest punishments in Impractical Jokers was Murr married Sal's sister. So that was funny. So I think they got married and then immediately got it annulled. But the whole thing was a joke. It was a punishment for Sal. It was so funny, I gotta say. Very hilarious. Impractical Jokers, honestly, is probably one of the funniest shows on TV. In fact, I might even go as far to say it probably is the funniest show on TV today. Yeah. I think I'd go that far. Yeah, definitely. I would go so far to say that. It's the funniest show on TV today. There we go. You have it from me right there. Straight from the mouth of the K-Swope. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take another gander here about what's going on. Checking my analytics again one more time. We had 19 views so far. That's cool. That's fantastic. I will say my clock is messed up on my computer somehow. Like I've set it so it says, you know, 7:03, which is what it is here, Eastern time, of course. But the issue comes in where, like, my computer, other things like here, my Opera GX, even, you know, my other applications I use, they show all the wrong stuff, and I don't know what the heck the problem with that is, but it's weird. I don't get it. But anyways, yeah, so that's rough. I hate hearing that from Murr. Let's go ahead and check Twitter some more and see what else is going on. What other important things? See, I'm not on Twitter much during the weekend. So there could be a lot that I miss. So let's see here. Hey, today marks 20 years since the first LEGO Star Wars game was released, so that's pretty awesome. That is very good to know. Windigoon, by the way, in case you don't know who he is, love Windigoon. He's dropping his video on the JFK files very soon, so I'm going to be glued to that because he's very invested in this, and so I'm very curious to see what he sees, what he takes away from him. I'm not paying it through him. I don't have that kind of time on my hands, and I don't care enough, but he does, and so I'm curious to see what he thinks. Alrighty, let's see what else we got going on here. Let's go ahead and hit up the X trending page, why don't we? Let's see what's trending. See a lot of sports stuff. Situation about Murr sounds very impractical. Nice. Yep, that's true. Couldn't have said it better myself, Austin. Couldn't have said it better myself. Burn a Tesla. Why is this trending? If burn a Tesla is terrorism, what is this? It's showing the... Okay. Burn a Tesla, save democracy. That is bullcrap. The stupidity that people go to, honestly. Like, it shocks me how dumb people in mass can be. Burning a Tesla is not going to save democracy. Heck, we have not had a legitimate threat to democracy in a really long time. We've had, like people here on the political right, okay? We've heard people, you know, we've had some things that might. So, like, there was a lot of speculation about election fraud back when, you know, like, Biden was elected, that kind of thing. I don't believe it now retroactively. I was curious. I was skeptical very much. Right now, I'm thinking, okay, that's probably not the case. So that would have been a threat to democracy. I don't think we're facing an actual threat to democracy right now in any way, shape, or form. People are like, oh, no one voted Elon. Well, guess what? No one votes for anyone on the cabinet or anything like that. That's just how it works. In other words, Bruce Hornsby in the range. That's just the way it is. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. Politics is crazy nowadays. Here's something I don't like, too. So, you know, I try to be, you know, a level-headed guy. And, of course, I'm on the political right. But I feel like people on the political right, commentators and stuff, they put so much hard scrutiny on Joe Biden, okay, when he was president. And reasonably so, because Joe Biden was a terrible president. I don't care what you think. However, they don't, I don't think, use the same type of scrutiny on Trump. I think Trump deserves to be as scrutinized as Biden was, okay? But I feel like they'll complain about things here and there, and then they won't think they're as big a deal when Trump's the guy in office. And I'm like, guys, that's just so inconsistent, you know? Like, there's never going to be a perfect candidate. There's going to be a perfect president, okay? So I think every president deserves scrutiny. And so, yeah, I'm disappointed when I hear my political commentators I listen to, who are conservative, not hold the same standard of judgment toward Trump that they do Biden. So don't get me wrong, it would still look different, and they're still, you know, going to say much better things about Trump. However, they are not going to say enough bad things about Trump that I think, you know, sound equal. So I'm not here to, you know, say, oh, I love Trump, or oh, I hate Trump, or whatever, or I hate Biden, or I love Biden, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I have opinions, but honestly, I do not care enough. So there you have it. So anyways, yeah, I'm still here checking X, seeing what's what, seeing if there's anything interesting going on. I will say, though, X is easily the best social media platform for me, personally, at least. I don't know. It seems the most streamlined. Like, the stuff I actually care about is the stuff I'm going to see the most. Speaking of which, I mentioned Fortnite. Here's something I'm looking at. Hypex, or however you pronounce the guy's name. Famous Fortnite leaker stuff. He says that Qui-Gon Jinn might be in the next Battle Pass, which is fascinating. So, we'll see about that. That's the other thing, too, with Star Wars. Because Star Wars is a franchise that works in different timelines, it goes very far. It's not like Marvel Comics or anything like that, or any comics for that matter, where it's just kind of like all moving at the same time. It's like long timeline of events. It's like if you're going to do a Marvel season, where do you choose to do the season? That's the hard thing, because it doesn't make sense for certain characters to cross over with each other, especially at certain ages. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of me. I know Austin's watching, of course, massive Star Wars fan. What do you think, Austin? I'm very curious. But I guess that just about covers everything going on here on Twitter. So that's kind of annoying. But oh well, we will make like the All-American rejects and move along. What I should do, actually, I'm going to go and look on YouTube to see my live stream, see what that's looking like. Just go ahead and pop there, look at my own live stream right here on YouTube. There are 2 people watching, apparently. That's great. Thank you, other person. Other person who's not Austin. Hit me up, homie. Let me know what you think. I can talk about a lot of things. I don't really have structure for this live stream today. I'm just kind of doing whatever. Seeing what comes up, talking about things here and there, all that kind of stuff. But Daily Wire, by the way, I got some interesting inside scoops about Daily Wire. So let me see if I can find it quick. I might need to go to Facebook for this. I know, right? That's crazy, Facebook. So let me pull that up. But Daily Wire, they are shutting down their children's department, their Bent Key Productions, it seems like, which is absolutely insane if you ask me, because they are apparently bankrupt. That's the rumor, if you will. So the rumor is that they are going bankrupt, and it is bad. So here we go. Let me see if I can find. No, not okay. I cannot find the post. Darn it. Okay. So let me do this instead. My sister. So Kevin McCreary, okay, I don't know if you know who he is. He has a YouTube channel called Say Goodnight Kevin. Let me pull that up for you here quick just so you can see it. Say Goodnight Kevin. And yes, that is actually named off of the line from Home Alone, where his mom's taking him upstairs and she's like, say goodnight, Kevin. And he's like, good night, Kevin. So that's what he based off. His name's Kevin too, by the way. But YouTube channel. So he hasn't been doing as much, I don't think, lately on it. But here you guys go. Say goodnight, Kevin. So he was working full time, okay, at the Daily Wire, okay. Now he was working on the one kid show. What was it? Like the Miraculous Miss Maisel, I think it is. I think that was the name of the show. I don't remember. And so that kind of was what slowed his YouTube down a little bit. Well, let me actually pull this up. So this is YouTube channel. My sister, my older sister, was actually able to become friends with him on Facebook, okay? Now, he's only got 30,000 subscribers, so it's not like he's got a massive following, but it's still a bigger following than me, so that says a lot. But she sent me this screenshot last night, my sister did. Let me pull it up from his thing, in fact, you know what? Let me crop the screenshot. Let me save and crop it just because I don't want to be showing other people's personal stuff because she didn't crop it. So that way you can just read this part. But he worked for Daily Wire. He was doing that kid show. He was helping, I want to say he was producing, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was producing it. And so let me pull this up real quick. Alrighty. So here we have it. Kevin McCreary. Okay. This might be mirrored, but I'll show it up to you guys. Focus up camera. Wait. Shoot, it's not going to work. Anyways, he posts it. Here's what it says. It says, the Daily Wire just laid off its entire kids department, including myself. So I'm free to work if you got anything for me. So that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys can. Here's the problem. I asked for just the focus on my camera. Let me do that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. There it is. You see that? So that's the screenshot. That's his post that he did. Which means that Daily Wire is shutting down Bentkey. In fact, I should do a whole video or short probably on that because that's absolutely crazy. So yes, he did that. He said that. It must not be private news, but I don't hear anyone talking about it. So I don't know what the heck the problem is with that, but it is absolutely crazy because I don't know if you're aware of this. So there's a guy, what's his name? Shoot. He posted a lot. He posted a lot like when like Brett Cooper was leaving. Let me look him up here quick. It was like Ian something, but I'm probably wrong about that. Give me 1 second. What? Shoot. Gosh dang it. What's his name? Let me just type in Daily Wire CEO and see what pops up because his video will probably be somewhere toward the top. Is it Ian Carroll? Is that it? I think that's it, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Ian Carroll. Yes, it is Ian Carroll. Okay, so this gentleman right here. Ian Carroll. Let me show you this. So Ian, he did a video that was really big. Down here a little ways. What's this? The implosion of the Daily Wire is accelerating. Ooh, they're firing another senior executive. I did not hear about that. Anyways, he posts political stuff. I'm trying to find the video that he did. It'll be down here a little ways. I don't know how much he posts and stuff regularly, but what happened is he knows some people on the inside of the Daily Wire who have reached out to him who didn't take NDAs and stuff like that. And here it is. This is the one right here. So in this video, basically he says about Jeremy Boring being fired. This dropped the same day that the announcement happened with Jeremy Boring being fired. So he announces all of this stuff, and in it he says that the Daily Wire is reportedly going bankrupt, and so they fired Jeremy Boring, all this kind of stuff, more and more stuff here and there, that they're freezing people's credit cards, company credit cards, mass layoffs going on. Well, actually, not mass layoffs. They haven't said that quite in this video. I kind of assumed they were going to be doing mass layoffs, but essentially what's been happening is all that craziness has been happening. Very, very messed up stuff. Like, super, super strange, super weird. I can talk about that a lot later because I do have a lot of opinions on that because, you know, I'm very politically minded, if you will. But all that's going on, and now it seems like these rumors, they were all rumors because he was the only person I heard talk about that, seemed to be true since Kevin mentioned that, okay? And I believe that 100%. So, yeah. It's very, very crazy. I feel bad for the Daily Wire because I was a massive Daily Wire guy. Now, I'll update you on some things. I think I mentioned in my review for the movie I Am Racist, which did perform quite well, I must say. The review for that, I mentioned how I'm a Daily Wire subscriber. As of 2 or 3 months ago, I think it's been now, I did cancel my subscription. I think it was set to auto-renew in like February, and so I canceled it before that because I was like, I'm not really using it much anymore. You know, I'm not doing all that much on the platform because really the reason I signed up was for a few things. For one, I really wanted to see the movies and stuff they were making because they were doing a really big push for movies. That Shut-In movie, it was all right. It wasn't too bad. And then they also, like, when What Is a Woman came out, I saw that. I loved that movie. I still do love that movie. And yeah, Am I Racist was on there, which I have not watched that a second time yet. I was going to, but I did see it in theater, so I did see it at least once. And basically, they just kind of stopped doing stuff I cared about. And it's like, I feel like I was paying not for much. I was watching, you know, the extra content on like the specifically Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh shows, and they just sort of, that was more of a byproduct. I was watching that because I had the subscription. I was not subscribing to watch that stuff, if that makes sense. And then the reasons I was subscribing, I just wasn't getting. And I'm like, well, I mean, the stuff that I want is not here. So I'm just going to unsubscribe. And then everything started going on. I mean, they fired Brett Cooper before that. And I was like, Brett Cooper is, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite hosts at the Daily Wire. And so they ditched her. And without how all that sounded, I'm like, this sounds really nasty. Before that, they ditched Candace Owens. Now, Candace Owens, I have a lot of mixed feelings on. So I don't, if you hate Candace Owens, okay, that's fine. I really don't care enough to defend Candace Owens because, I mean, she does say and do some things that seem kind of outlandish, and so I'm not going to defend her at all. But Candace Owens, she left the Daily Wire. I was not super heartbroken or anything because I'm like, oh well. But that was going on. And then when Brett Cooper went, I just kept thinking of Candace Owens, and I also kept thinking about what Steven Crowder said when they had a whole thing that went on. In case you guys didn't know, Crowder and Daily Wire, they went into this whole big public feud, kind of, sort of, because Crowder was looking to leave. What company was he with? He was with The Blaze. That's right. He was with The Blaze. He wanted to leave The Blaze. And so he accepted offers from people. Daily Wire was one of them. He did this video saying this offer from this bad... Let me back up. He got an offer that was bad. And he said that this is an offer that would be enticing for some people, but probably not others, probably not me, that kind of thing. And yeah, it was just all around a messy situation. Jeremy Boring came out and said, okay, that was our offer. This is what we said, blah, blah, blah. This is what we mean by this and that and stuff. Whole big debacle. So with all these things compounding, and then with Brett Cooper leaving, and it being very abrupt and very like, hold on, what? I was like, on top of all this stuff, I was like, I don't know that I want to keep subscribing to Daily Wire. And so I unsubscribed. And the next thing you know, Boring's getting fired and all this stuff's happening. So I wish they could rebound to where they were back in like 2020, 2021, because I think they were on fire there and they had a lot of good things going on. They had Gina Carano. They did all that kind of stuff. Austin, my man, you love Star Wars, right? So Gina Carano, she did stuff with, she did stuff with Disney, but she did stuff with Daily Wire after Disney fired her. So like that stuff I thought was cool. I liked that they were going there. They did that movie Terror on the Prairie. But yeah, I don't know, guys. So yeah, Daily Wire's been very disappointing, unfortunately. So I don't know, not much to say there, but very, very sad. In the words of Elton John, it's sad, so sad. It's a sad, sad situation. And it's getting more and more absurd. But anyway, so I'm back to looking on X here. See what I can find. What's interesting. What's going on, if you will. But we've been going for about an hour and a half, guys. So we're doing pretty good, I must say. How far are we into the stream? Okay. You give me another 2 hours and 18 minutes. That is cool. I'm about an hour and 22 minutes in. So we'll see how things are going. See how things are going. I might do some more stuff here and there. See what do you guys want me to do? I have a lot of options. I can play something. I can talk about something. We shall see. Again, I'm checking some stuff here, looking at X, like I said, looking for interesting topics going on. Apparently C-3PO could possibly drop next season. I don't know why you would want to play a C-3PO in Fortnite. That seems weird to me because C-3PO, I don't know, just like not the type of person you really want to play as, I think. Here's what remembers the Switch 2 is supposed to launch in June, and pre-orders are supposed to go live in April 9th to be exactly. So that'd be interesting. I kind of want a Switch 2, not going to lie. I would totally be down for a Switch 2. I will say, speaking of Fortnite, they sent me an email survey. It was interesting. Someone's ringing my doorbell. I don't know. Email survey from Fortnite. And what happened was they had me answer a lot of questions about like what celebrities that I knew and followed and things like that. So it was very fascinating. And like what music that I know and listen to, what artists I know and listen to from, you know, these lists of people that they had. It was very weird, gotta say. Very, very strange. So, yeah. So we shall see. I don't know. Crazy stuff going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy, crazy stuff. Here's one thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and wind this live stream down. But before I go, I do want to let you guys know on one thing I plan on doing. So we, of course, have Superman coming out in July. I've not been this excited for a movie in a long time. So I'm very, very excited for Superman. So here's something I'm planning on doing. Building up to the release of Superman in July here, I'm planning on reviewing every single Superman film building up to the Superman movie. Okay, so every week I'm going to drop a new review for a Superman movie. I'm probably going to start with Man of Steel. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to do Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, then go back to the Christopher Reeves movies and do all of those ones. Okay, live action Superman movies. Watching all those. I'm not watching Justice League and stuff. I think that's a whole nother topic for another time because those are massive movies, massive franchises, and so I will save that for later. But the idea is I'm going to build up to that. So starting coming up here, another month or two in May, I'm going to get the ball rolling over there. So I'm very excited to be doing that. It's going to be a great time, let me tell you. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wind things down for me. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Let me know what you want me to do on my next couple of live streams. I do have some thoughts in mind. I do, of course, want to shoot for the stars. I got some great YouTube plans coming up, so I want to thank all you guys for watching. Specifically, I want to thank Austin and 928 Studios Incorporated because you guys commented a lot, and I greatly appreciated that. Thank you guys for all for tuning in. I know 928 Studios left a while ago, but thank you guys very, very much. All your feedback, of course, is appreciated, so I want to know what you guys think. Again, that's going to help influence me, influence this channel a lot, what kind of content I put out, because I want to know what you guys want to hear from me. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up. Thank you guys all for watching. I'm K-Swope. I'll catch you guys in